4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. Wynn's Auto Detailing Service. Platinum Roofing, Solar and Green Solutions. Voted Richmond's best roofer 7 years in a row. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register sports editor, Nathan Hutchison.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I'm the sports editor of the Richmond Register and very much appreciate you tuning us in this week. We have a big show for you, lots of stuff to talk about and a big recap of an exciting week in Madison County sports. And we have lots of guests coming up here in just a minute. Madison Central swim coach John Stratman. And he has also brought along senior Jack Voss, and the Indians dominated the Region 9 championships on Saturday at Eastern Kentucky University, winning the combined boys and girls region titles, taking 13 championships on their way to those titles. And then after that, we're going to have Madison Central boys basketball coach Allen Feldhaus with us as well, because, man, the Indians had a amazing weekend on Friday night, picking up a win at home over Evangel Christian, and then on Saturday night, topping North Laurel at home as well in a game where, well, you'll see in just a minute, where Jalen Davis had an unbelievable performance. But as always, we want to start off the show with a recap of the week that was in Madison County sports, and we are going to start with the swimming, the Region 9 championships at Eastern Kentucky University on Saturday. And for the first time in 5 years, Madison Central sweeps the region championships, the boys, the girls, and the combined. 13 first-place finishes out of 24 events. The Indians won all 6 relays. In the combined team championships, Central racked up 929 points. Model was second at a distant 415. In the girls, it was Madison Central with 485 points, beating out North Laurel, who was second with 224 points. And in the boys championship, it was Madison Central 444 points to Model at 291. Model had won the boys region championship 4 straight years, but Madison Central finally reclaims that title for the first time since 2018. The individual region winners for Madison Central are highlighted by a pair of 8th graders. Marley Cooksey and Lena Brown both won 2 individual events and were also part of those big relay championships as well. But Marley Cooksey wins the 200 free and the 500 free. Lena Brown wins the 200 IM and the 100 fly. Other region winners for Madison Central included 8th grader Lauren Hagan, who won the 100 breast. 10th grader Emma McDowell, who won the 500 free. Cade Kuistra, who won the 200 IM. He's a junior. And then there'll be a whole lot more, as we'll talk about this with Coach in a minute. But the top 2 automatically qualify for the state, which is February 17th and 18th in Lexington. But in addition to those top 2, there are a bunch of at-large spots out there. So we have a bunch of kids that finished 3rd, 4th, 5th. That will probably get at-large bids as well, and those will be announced later today. But Model Lab did have 3 region titles as well. Colin Jackson won the 100 free and the 100 back, and Tanner Jackson won the 500 free. Won a region championship for Madison Southern, and no surprise, it's Reagan Patterson winning the 1-meter diving competition for the 3rd consecutive year. It's the 9th consecutive region dive title for the Patterson family. Her sister Flannery won the 6 before her, so the Patterson family tradition continues. And the diving championships will be February 16th in Lexington as Reagan goes up there to try to compete for a state championship. But we put up a story yesterday that has the full results of all the finishers from all the Madison County schools. Don't have time on here to go through them because there's a long, long list. Region 9 includes all 4 Madison County schools, and we did have all 4 schools will have kids that will move on to the state championships next week. And when we get that full list, we'll get that out for you as well. On to high school hoops, and what a crazy, crazy week it was. Buzzer beaters, big victories, triple overtime games. We had the gamut here in Madison County. But first, before we get to that, we got to tell you about the district draw. Me and Randy on Tuesday afternoon, we're over here in Richmond for the district draw, and for the 14th time in the past 16 years, Madison Central and Madison Southern are on the opposite sides of the draw. It will be Madison Central taking on Model in the opening round of the 44th District Tournament on Monday, February 20th at Eastern Kentucky University, and then it'll be Madison Southern and Berea on Tuesday, February 21st at Eastern Kentucky University. Championship is Friday, February 24th. The two semifinals, of course, are the boys and girls games are the same both nights. So on Monday and Tuesday, the games are 6:30 and 8:15. On Friday for the championship game, it's 6:30 and 8:30 as they push back the boys game a little bit because of the celebrations and stuff. But for the 14th time in 16 years, Madison Central, Madison Southern will not have to play each other in the first round. I know a lot of people gave a big deep breath, a big sigh of relief because of that. It's obviously every year that's a very tense moment when they pull those little pellets out of the jar. So we'll have complete coverage of that coming up. But that's a couple of weeks away, and of course it's always exciting. We're already looking ahead to district tournament time, and but we got a couple more weeks to go. And we're going to start off our recap of high school basketball here in Madison County this past week with Madison Central. 3 very tough home games. 2 very big wins. On Wednesday, a 59-54 loss to Lexington Christian Academy. Then on Friday, a 63-46 win over Evangel Christian. And then the big one on Saturday night, a 74-58 statement victory over North Laurel. And of course, Coach Feldhaus will be here in a minute, and we're going to talk a little bit more about all of these games. But we do want to give you some highlights, in particular the North Laurel game, because Jalen Davis, the senior, had a tremendous performance. 36 points, 7 of 14 from three-point range, 7 rebounds, and also drew the defensive assignment of guarding maybe the best player in the state, according to some folks. Of course, Reed Shepard, who is signed to play at University of Kentucky. But Jalen Davis held Reed Shepard to 12 points, forced him into 7 turnovers, and Reed Shepard fouled out of the game as Madison Central picked up the 74-58 win in front of a crazy big crowd at Madison Central. It was a fun night, and I know we're going to have Coach Feldhaus here in a minute, but I wanted to play you this video because after the game we got a chance to talk to Jalen Davis and Coach Feldhaus. We're here at Madison Central High School where the Indians have picked up a dramatic win over North Laurel. It's Coach Allen Feldhaus and the man with 36 points tonight, Jalen Davis. Congratulations, guys. Well, Coach, I know that guy in the green over there gets a lot of attention, Reed Shepard, but this guy's a pretty good player too, and I think some people may start noticing.
He took some pride in the match. I mean, Reed's a great player, but Jalen wanted the matchup. I was concerned really last night. We sit back and playing a real tight, packed in 2-3. I was afraid maybe the guys think, well, maybe we can't play man. Maybe we got to do that. And I knew tonight, I thought we could guard them, so we can play man-to-man too when we're focused and everybody locked in, and that was good. I mean, Jalen was great. He had 4 teammates that did their job. Parker and Eli, they got 10 points. That's what we need out of those other 2 because we know these 3 can.
Yeah, I mean, not just 36, but you guarded Reed most of the night, and he ends up fouling out. And I mean,
he guarded the best player on everything. He didn't just Shepard. I mean, he gets the best perimeter player every time we play.
Yeah, I'm just glad my coach believes in me to guard the best player, and I take pride in that. I think my team knows that. I take pride in trying to guard the best player, and that they have my back.
Because I've told him a million times, Nick was here.
Oh yeah,
Nick always does.
Yeah, I'm trying to take that shot. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, you got to be up for these big games, and you got to be up for the challenge like that. I mean, obviously you were confident, and you were like, "Hey, bring it on, man! I got you."
Yeah, I feel like being a team leader, I have to bring the energy before the game, after the game, during practice, everything, so my team, get in with me. And I feel like the crowd also helps with the energy that helps us, get big wins, just have a lot of energy.
And he truly, up in the last couple games, he hadn't really shot the 3 the way we think he's capable of shooting 3. I mean, last year he shot 42%. Going into last night's game, I think he was only shooting like 35, 36. But the last 2 games, I think what it was, he wasn't getting enough getting his legs into it, and worked on it in practice. I think we worked really hard on practice. The next day he said his legs were sore. That's why he's getting that deep in the
yeah.
And we know he can shoot.
Well, 13 to 27 overall, not just him, but the whole rest of the guys.
You had 13 threes, you're going to win a lot.
I feel like once they hit 1, it's over. they just start coming in easy.
It gets contagious.
Yeah.
It's contagious.
Yeah, like we talked about last night with Coach. I mean, you guys have had some tough losses. You play a brutal schedule, and now you're starting to see the fruits of that reward.
Yeah, I feel like he says, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So I feel like the game that come before this, I mean, it's just I think it's a challenge.
Be ready to go.
Basically. So the postseason is really when that matters, and just getting big wins after.
But we don't want to lose. I mean, we're playing a great schedule. We don't want to lose against those teams.
Yeah.
It's nice to win against two of those teams that are ranked ahead of you. If we got another one coming in here Tuesday nights.
Yeah. John Mark, you got a question?
Yes, sir. Jay Turner.
Jalen, how does it feel to guard the guy who's probably going to win Mr. Basketball and hold 12 points and make him foul out?
Like I said, I just love taking the challenge. Reed, we played together since fourth grade, so I feel like that challenge. We both know each other, both great players. He had a good game. So.
All right. Thanks, John Mark. Congratulations, guys.
Sorry.
All right. What a crazy game. And thanks, John Mark. I always try to get John Mark involved. He always wants to be part of the interviews, and he asks great questions. So thank you, John Mark, for helping us out. But I just wanted to let you guys hear from Jalen Davis after that, and just love that quiet confidence that kid has. I mean, he wants to guard the best player every night, and not only guard him, but to get right up in his face and shut him down, and then to have 36 points on the other end is just unbelievable too. So congratulations to Jalen, and congratulations to the Indians on a big win. 13-12 on the season for the Indians, and just another big matchup coming up for them as they take on Lexington Catholic Tuesday night here in Richmond. Model Lab boys had 3 games last week, did pick up a pair of wins, including a very dramatic one. We'll get to that in just a second. But on Tuesday, 56-33 win at home over Bergen. Friday night, 50-49 win at home over Nelson County. And then on Saturday, they suffered a 72-62 loss to North Bullitt up in Knightstown, Indiana at the Hoosier Gym up there. But the highlight was Friday night. It was homecoming at Model. Senior Keshav Bondari was named the homecoming king. And but late in the game, 5.9 seconds left, the Patriots were down 49-47. Inbounded the ball under the Nelson County basket, and this happened. Jude Vickers with the game winner at the buzzer. That's such a great celebration. Apparently, it was Asher Mayer who jumped over the top and went down onto the.
I thought he failed.
Which not safe, but in the excitement of the moment, you got to obviously let kids be kids. But Jude Vickers, 19 points, 5 3-pointers. Cale Vickers, 14 points as well. He hit 3 3-pointers. And afterwards, we got a chance to talk to Coach John Morgerson and Jude Vickers.
We're back here at Model Lab School on homecoming, where the Patriots have picked up a dramatic 50-49 win over Nelson County. Jude Vickers, Coach John Morgerson, and Coach Jude with the game-winning 3-pointer at the buzzer. Coach, was that how that play was supposed to be drawn up, or did they just kind of improvise there?
Well, we kind of put them in spots, and then they did a good job swinging the ball back to Beckett, and he did a good job getting down the court, and Beckett just threw it ahead, and he just turned around and made it. I was almost close to calling timeout because he had his kind of back to the basket, facing the sidelines, and I just was like, let him go, and he turned around and made it. So thankful I didn't call timeout. Just trusted him to make that shot, and he stepped up. And he made other big shots tonight, too. He finished with 16 points, so it wasn't just that one. So Sometimes you see it go in. He had a bank 3. I think it was just his night. Things were going his way tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you were in the corner there. You just literally kind of turned around and chucked it right before the clock expired, but it was beautiful.
Yeah, it felt good. I mean, the only other times I used to shoot that shot's when I'm goofing off in practice, but works in practice. I mean, I work here. Lucky.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's been a tough year for you. You've been battling some injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
It's probably your best game of the year so far. You're getting healthy. You're feeling good, and that had to be great. Your teammates mob you. You got people jumping off the upper deck coming down on you. It was a great scene.
Yeah. I mean, it felt good. But then especially, I felt like I haven't been playing my greatest this whole season, and this game really just gave me a boost, motivation for myself. So yeah, it felt good.
Yeah, you got to feel good for him, man. He just keeps, like I said, he's been injured, and he just keeps battling through it. And
yeah, that's what I told his teammates. It was just about perseverance. The way he stayed through it all year, the way he kept his head up. He has high expectations of himself, so he was, kind of disappointed in what he's done so far. But tonight he showed the player that he can be when he's healthy, when he's making shots, and when he's locked in. And and it was a good team win. I mean, we had a lot of guys that do their job tonight, make shots, play good defense. Our worst stretch of the game was that last 2 minutes. until he made that shot. We were just kind of struggling a little bit, but we found a way to win. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, we get to go up to Indiana tomorrow, so.
Yeah, gotta
It's
get
a
them up
quick
early in the
turnaround,
morning. We
right?
keep having these good wins, and we turn around and play the next day. We don't get to enjoy it for too long. So I told him to enjoy it tonight, and then whenever I see him tomorrow at 1 o'clock, then we'll be ready to play again against North Bullitt.
Congratulations, Jude. It's a hell of a shot, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
It's a great moment for Jude Vickers there. Like I said, like we said in the video, a kid who's battled a lot of injuries this year and keeps battling through it, and a great moment for him. And what better time to do it than on homecoming? That's very awesome. Like I said, Keshav Bondari was the homecoming king. Madeline Petrie was the queen. She's a soccer player over there at Model and also does lots of other activities as well. But the Patriots did have to get back on the court just a few hours later up in Indiana. Did suffer a 72-62 loss to North Bullitt, and it was Keshav Bondari with 25 points in that game for the Patriots. But 10-13 on the year for them, and Models back in action Monday at home against Pendleton County. Madison Southern Eagles, another busy week for them as well. 3 games, Tuesday a 59-57 win at Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Friday a 82-78 loss to Rockcastle in a game that was played at Berea College. And then on Saturday, 85-75 loss at home to Pikeville. The highlight of the week for them, though, definitely the win over PLD. They were up. It was Zach Hudson with 20 points, and it was 2 free throws in the final seconds. And how this worked was Southern was down by a couple of points. Down by a point. Zach got a rebound and was elbowed, and which resulted in a technical foul. He hit both free throws with about 2 seconds left, and then of course Southern got the ball back, and then he hit another free throw to make the margin 59-57. But it was Zach Hudson 20 points, Jay Rose 19 points, and the Eagles were down in this one. They outscored Dunbar 16-9 in the fourth quarter to get back into the game. Game on Friday night over at Berea College against Rockcastle was our friend Ricky Elkins was there for us, and it was a nasty physical game. There was an ejection. Zach Hudson was ejected from this game. There was nastiness both ways. Lots of folks on social media complaining about the officiating, not only Southern folks, but Rockcastle folks as well. So that maybe says something right there. But it was 82-78. Rockcastle picking up the victory. Madison Southern had a 4-point lead with about 3 minutes to go, couldn't hold on to it. Jay Rose, 19 points, Kason Nabi with 15 points. And then on Saturday afternoon, the game against Pikeville, because Zach Hudson was ejected from the Rockcastle County game, was not available for this one, but it was Jay Rose with 30 points, Braden Hudson with 23 points, but once again, it was Pikeville picking up the 85-75 win. 6-9 on the season, back at home Tuesday night against Pulaski County. Berea Community, the Pirates, 2 home games this week, 2 tough losses. Wednesday, 71-62 to Lee County, and then on Thursday, 64-55 to Somerset Christian. Led at halftime in both of these games against Lee County. The Pirates were up 8, but could not seal the deal. It was Cam Puckett, 24 points, and Cannon Cummins, 12 points, and Finley Blevins with 11 points. And against Somerset Christian, the Pirates were up by 11 points in the third quarter, but once again could not seal the deal. And Cameron Puckett there with 21 points, Tommy Vanderman 11 points, and Finley Blevins with 10 points. 8-17 on the season for the Pirates, back in action Tuesday at home against Owsley County. Over to the girls' side of high school basketball here in Madison County last week. A couple of games this past week for the Lady Patriots of Model, a 65-29 loss on Monday at Bergen. But then on Friday night, they also had homecoming. They were the opening game of a doubleheader, and it was a 37-30 win for the Lady Patriots over the Christian Educational Consortium, snapping a 2-game losing streak and a feel-good win on homecoming for the Lady Patriots, no doubt. J.D. Balzer, 18 points, Maya Bondari, 7 points, Avery Tuttle, 5 points, and Claire Garner and Alyssa Hudson with 3 points each. Christian Educational Consortium actually took the lead early in the fourth quarter, but Model outscored them 10-4 over the final period to rally for the 37-30 win. And afterwards, we got a chance to talk to Coach Scotty Sutton and J.D. Balzer.
We're here at Model Lab School, where the Lady Patriots picked up a 37-30 win on homecoming over the Christian Educational Consortium. Coach Scotty Sutton and J.D. Balzer. And Coach, nothing better than a win on homecoming, huh?
Oh, it's great. Talk to the girls, beforehand about there's going to be a big crowd, students that come that may not always be there. There's going to be a lot of people here. Just don't try to do, more than what we always do. Just stay within yourselves. Let's work on the game plan. And they did a terrific job of that. Even in the second half when it got tight and even more people started showing up, I really thought that they followed through and did exactly what we practiced, so I was proud of them.
Yeah, late in the third quarter there, they took the lead, JD, but you had a big basket right there at the end of the third to get you guys back in the lead.
Yeah,
and then had a big one there in the beginning of the fourth to get you guys to kind of extend the lead.
Yep. It was a good game. They were a good team. We played well. I think we worked well together as a team. Made some good passes. Just kept it together.
Yeah, it seems like you're always open on that backdoor cut on the opposite side there, and teams don't know, and you get some nice easy looks.
I like that shot.
You like that play, man. You call that play. That's what you like.
Yeah, 18 for her, and Coach, she's come in this year and been a real addition for you guys.
She really has. I mean, I could see it the very first day. I knew she was young, but you could see the explosive abilities that she had. And what I really admired about her was when practice was over, she would be over there on her own, working on ball handling, working on just fundamental stuff. I'm trying to put in a system because it's the first year, but she was really working on fundamentals, and it's paid off for her.
Yeah. You came in from like Montana or something, didn't you?
Yeah.
What did you expect when you got here?
I don't really know. It was a lot different than Montana. The air is definitely different.
Yeah, from a cross-country runner, that was something you had to get adjusted to.
It's so dry out there. Come out here and holy crap, you sweat through 4 shirts.
All right, well, you guys obviously had a couple of tough losses here recently, so this one must be even a little sweeter for you, huh?
It really is, and it's one thing that I've admired about this group all year is that where I may be pouting and staring at the ceiling in the middle of the night after a tough loss, when I come to practice, they're ready to play. I mean, they haven't let tough losses deter them at all. They've come in and they're ready to practice, and they've still got a smile on their face, and they're more determined than ever, and I really like that about them.
All right, well, congratulations on homecoming victory.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, it certainly is a lot hotter here than in Montana, right, Randy?
Absolutely, thank goodness.
Sweat through 4 shirts here. I know Model is certainly happy that JD and her brother Ty transferred here and are on their sports teams over there. But 7-9 on the season for Model, and they're back in action Monday at Frankfort. The hottest team in Madison County continues to be the Lady Indians of Madison Central. Just one game this past week, but they did pick up another win to go to 17-4 on the season. They have the best record and the best RPI in the 11th region. 53-42 Saturday afternoon over Nicholas County here in Richmond. Bailey Hensley, 25 points, 10 rebounds. Natea Strader, 13 points. And Brittany Campbell with 10 points. 5 straight wins for the Lady Indians, and they're back in action Wednesday at home against Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Berea Community, a pair of games this week. Started off with a 54-41 loss Wednesday on the road at Bath County. And then on Friday night, we had a crazy one down at Berea Community, folks. If you remember, Berea took on Sayre in the opening round of the 11th Region All-A Tournament back in Lexington, back a month ago in Lexington. In that game, Berea was down 16-2, but rallied all the way back and won the game in overtime. Well, the teams met again on Friday in Berea, and this time it went to 3 overtimes in a crazy, crazy game. Maddie King, 20 points. Sophie Brewer, 17 points. Lauren Stepp, 10 points. 56-54 the win for Berea Community. 15-25 from the free throw line. Kylie Dennis for Sayre had 34 points, but it was Berea Community picking up another dramatic victory over Sayre. Berea has won 3 of its past 4 games heading into the final stretch of the season. They are 15-8 on the year, and they'll be back in action Monday at Whitley County. Madison Southern, 3 games this past week, including a crazy one. We're going to show you that one here in a second. But Tuesday, 56-33 loss at home to Frederick Douglass. Thursday, a 67-66 win in overtime at Lafayette. And then on Friday, a 60-40 loss to Rockcastle in a game that was also played down at Berea College. But let's focus on the Thursday game in overtime. This is sent to us from video from Trent Moberly. He's always helping us out, sending us stuff. But this is what happened in overtime on Thursday in Lexington.
Hey, go get it, Herb, Herb. Now throw it to her. Throw it. You got Hadley.
Bella Moberly with the game winner at the buzzer there. 20 points for Bella, 13 rebounds. Good win for Madison Southern because they trailed by 14 points in the second quarter. That snapped a 2-game losing streak. It was definitely a much-needed win for the Lady Eagles. I'm sorry. Like I said, Moberly 20 points and 13 rebounds. Hadley French and Lacey Sandlin with 16 points each. In the loss to Rockcastle County on Friday night, it was Hadley French with 13 points and Lacey Sandlin with 9 points. 14-11 for the Lady Eagles, and they're back in action Tuesday at home against another tough 11th region rival in Bryan Station. CCS Hoops, Collegiate Conference of the South, Berea College women. The beat goes on, folks. 2 games, 2 victories. Wednesday, 106-38 at home over Wesleyan College, in a game that was a makeup game from the game that was postponed the week before. And then on Friday on the road, 84-69 win at Huntington College, 20-1 on the season, 12-0 in the CCS. In the game against Wesleyan, 6 players reached double figures, including Madison Howell, the Berea Community graduate, 16 points and 10 rebounds. And then in the win over Huntington, and College James, 23 points, 13 rebounds, and Aaliyah Hampton with 23 points. The Berea College ladies are back in action Friday at LaGrange College as they close in on that regular season CCS conference title. Berea College men had just 1 game this week, but it was a very important game, a Friday on the road down at Huntington College, which is in Montgomery, Alabama. And it was a 74-68 victory for the Mountaineers. It was Isaac Cottle, 26 points, 7 rebounds. Trey Mentor, 20 points and 5 rebounds. And Marquise Mackey, 12 points and 5 rebounds. 12-9 on the season for the Berea College Mountaineers, and more importantly, 4-4 in the CCS. That puts them in 4th place, just a half a game behind Belhaven. And just like the ladies, the men are back in action Friday at LaGrange, who's a team that's above them in the standings at 6-2. EKU hoops this past week. There were 2 doubleheaders over at Alumni Coliseum. It was a good week for the men, a not so good week for the women. So we'll start with the good. On Thursday night, the men picking up a 69-67 win over Jacksonville State at home. And then on Saturday, a 77-74 win over first place Kennesaw State at home. 16-9 now, 9-3 in the A-Sun. Colonels still sit in 3rd place in the A-Sun, but just 1 game behind both Liberty and Kennesaw State at the top of the standings. On Thursday night, what a crazy game. Jacksonville State had the lead late. Cooper Robb was 0 for 4 from 3-point range until this happened.
Cut him off, leans, left corner, Robb, 3, got it! 3.1 to go, no timeouts.
Second game-winning shot for Cooper Robb this year. Of course, he had the game winner, the half-court heave against Georgia State back in November. But it was Devontae Blanton, 21 points. Tayshawn Comer with 14 points. As another dramatic victory. There's a little, I know we don't call it McBrayer anymore, we call it McBrayer's Court, but there's a little McBrayer magic with this team because they are undefeated at home against A-Sun opponents this year and have only had 1 loss at home all year, and that was that nail-biter to Western Kentucky. But then against Kennesaw State on Saturday night, the Colonels were down by 13 points in the first half, but kept battling back, and it was Devontae Blanton with 24 points, Tayshawn Coburn with 15 points, and as the Colonels rallied for a 77-74 win. Like I said, sitting there in 3rd place in the A-Sun. They've been great at home. They've been kind of on the road. And 4 of their last 6 games on the regular season schedule are on the road, starting with 2 this week. They are on Thursday. They are at Queens College of Charlotte. And then on Saturday, a big trip to Lynchburg, Virginia to take on first place Liberty. So a big week coming up for EKU hoops. EKU women did not have a good week, lost both of their home games, 74-65 on Thursday to Lipscomb, and then 82-69 on Saturday to Austin P. They have lost 3 out of 4. They are 13-11, 6-5 in the A-Sun. Against Lipscomb, it was Antoinette Walker, 18 points and 9 rebounds. But Lipscomb outscored EKU 29-14 in the 3rd quarter to blow that one open. And then against Austin P, it was Antoinette Walker again, 33 points, 11 rebounds. But EKU was 4 of 16 from the 3-point range, and another loss for the ladies. They also have a 2-game trip coming up this week. Different opponents, though. Thursday at Kennesaw State, and then Saturday at Jacksonville State. as well. One quick note, we have a story up on this, but Sierra Young and Haley Young from Madison Southern won Girls State Wrestling Championships on Saturday. That event was held up at, I do believe it was Tates Creek High School up in Lexington. They both won their divisions, and Haley Butts of Madison Central was third in her division as well. We do have region wrestling coming up this week. We have a whole slate of high school basketball games as well. Like I said, EKU men are on the road, women are on the road, but there's still plenty to talk about. So we'll be here to give it all to you. So coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to have Madison Central swim coach John Stratman and senior Jack Voss.
Stack of the week.
Stephanie Miserandino here with IHOP and partner Destination Athlete, presenting Logan Cantrell with his IHOP Stack of the Week. Get your t-shirt, 52 weeks of free pancakes, and your IHOP gift card.
Thank you.
Yes, and I'm Coach Kinley. Logan is our 126-pounder. He's 26-5 on the state, ranked 13th in the state. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Stack of the week. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. Wynn's Auto Detailing Service. Platinum Roofing, solar and green solutions. Voted Richmond's best roofer 7 years in a row. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
Well, welcome back. We are joined by Madison Central swim coach John Stratman and senior Jack Voss. The Indians rolled to all three region titles on Saturday over at EKU, winning the combined, the boys and the girls. First time in 5 years they've done all that. It's been the boys' title's been elusive for you guys, but Model won that the last 4 years. But you guys tracked it down and got that sweep.
Yeah. Just super proud of the guys, super proud of the girls. Just a total team effort, and we got Jack Voss here today, and he's one of our leaders, and just kind of kept everybody together and got them prepared and got them motivated, and the team did awesome. Just super excited that we were able to get the championship this year.
Oh, yeah. Those are my best buds. I've kind of planned this like 2-3 years ahead with John and my friends. Those guys that dominated not only myself, but I train with them all the time. I love them to death. I'm going to miss them next year, so that's about it.
Yeah. Like you said, you obviously were at Model. You transferred. You had to sit out an entire year.
Oh yeah,
so it makes it a little sweeter, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I grinded hard that year. It does, because I waited a long time for it. Got everything I planned for, kind of. So yeah, it's great.
Well, awesome. I mean, you guys, the depth of your team. I think you had 30-some kids. Almost all of them got through the preliminaries into the final. And then you had 18 different kids with top 5 finishes. You had a bunch of individual winners. We'll get to those in a minute. But to win titles like this, it takes numbers. And you guys not only have numbers, you guys have a lot of talent.
Yeah, I think there was only a couple events where we did not finish in first or second place, as first or second place moves on to the state. But just an outstanding group of kids. And like you said, we can talk about it here in a little bit. But in every event, state qualifiers, just great finishes, all the way from our fastest swimmers all the way down to those that qualified. I can't say enough. It's just everything was working out just right.
Yeah, I think it was 13 individual titles. You guys, or 13 titles. You swept all 6 relay events as well, and obviously big points there. And once again, just shows your depth. You got a lot of great kids.
Yeah, and like we talk about, Model always has a great team and is super competitive, and just they're always fun to go up against. And you never know if they're going to win or if we're going to win, and it just makes it interesting and a lot of fun for the kids and parents alike. So just super happy that we were able, after 5 years, to bring the boys' title back, and we'll see what happens next year. I know the Coliseum is going to go into renovation, so I'm not real sure where the future of that is going to be, but just take it one day at a time.
Yeah. We'll talk about those relays. Which ones are you part of, and kind of how do you train for those?
I did the 2 free relay and the 2 medley relay. I did freestyle for medley. The way I trained is I just focused on my start. I try to jump as far as I can, try to be as smooth as I can. One of my problems is my turns, so I worked on that a bit. I think I improved it a lot this year. Coach Alicia told me I have, so I'm going to rely on that. I kind of changed my stroke. I try to go in smoother than I used to just smack the water. That made me drop like a whole second. I'm in like the 21s now for 50 free, so that has helped us win a lot of relays. That one championship a couple of meets ago out-touched model by like 3 100s because I don't know, I just got so hyped. My friends, we all just hype each other up. We all hang out a lot, train together. It's like team chemistry for the relays.
I was going to ask you, is like chemistry a big part of the relay success?
Oh yeah, I hang out with those guys a lot. I lift with them boys. Caden Graves, me and him lift together a lot. And then we just hang out a lot together, and it just helped us win and get faster each time. And I love that. I'm going to miss that. So
we finished second in the 50 free on Saturday, and the 50 free always, to me, just seems like chaos. I mean, how many times do you actually come up for a breath during the 53? Just maybe 2 or 3 times? Or, I mean, it seems it's only usually 20-some seconds, right?
Yeah, usually I just don't breathe at all, but sometimes I question myself if I should breathe because, like, I'm dying at the very end. I don't know if I should just finish strong, but, yeah, I usually just don't breathe. Yeah, that's about it. I got out-touched. I messed up my turn, but I'll get a lot faster at state. So.
Yeah. Also, third in the 100 fly. How long have you been doing the butterfly?
It's one of my first races since like 6th grade. Used to be my best. Now I'm kind of turned into a freestyler, I guess. I need to work on that one. Fly hurts a lot. It hurts the worst, especially 2 fly. That's one of the worst pains I'm ever gonna imagine because that one was bad. Like the club swim meets, 100 fly is just worse. It's just a lot shorter, so that's good. But yeah, you really got to work on that a lot more in freestyle.
And Jack's underwaters are phenomenal, and it just accelerates, and then he gets out in front, and then he finishes strong, and he's so dedicated to the sport, and he wants to be the best. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, growing up, my club coach, Kevin Knezovich, I think I just grew up with him kind of teaching me how to do underwaters, or I guess he also told me it was just natural. I don't really know how it happened, but yeah, my fastest is going underwater. So I usually beat people off the first 25, and I want to carry that into college, so hopefully I'll dominate with that. So.
I mean, when these kids are younger, how do you kind of identify what events, what strokes, what disciplines?
Well, you just try and give them different opportunities and different strokes and distances, and then through time, you figure out what they excel in and what their best events are. So, it takes time. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time. Some of our other swimmers that were in the meet, we had some, I think we have 23 or 24 swimmers that are going to compete at the state meet coming up that have qualified. And then we have one diver, Sarah Morris, who qualified as well. She did great at diving at the regional meet.
They said top 2 automatically get in, and then there's at-larges after that, and they'll be announced today.
Correct.
Later today. So.
So our medley relay, that had Luke Guile, Caden Graves, Jack Voss, and was it Caden? I'm sorry, Cade Koistra.
Yeah, Baxter.
Yep. And then 200 free, Sawyer Wilson had a great meet, finished really fast in the 200 free and 500 free. Luke Guile, he trains really hard. He's very much a competitor, and when he qualified second place at the regional meet, like, he was speechless. He was like, he was emotional. He was so happy, and I was so happy for him because there's times where you'll finish third and you're just touched out on a finish. Logan Heinrich is a senior. He finished really well in the 50 free and 100 free. Elliot Bradburn, another swimmer who transferred over from model, he did really well for us in the breaststroke and the 100 free. Hayden Bennett did awesome in the 500 free and 100 back, and then both our other relays. And then on the girls' side,
and 2 8th graders win a pair of region championships.
yeah,
That's crazy.
Marley Cooksey, Lena Brown. Lena Brown set another regional record in the 100 butterfly. Her own record bettered that. Let's see here. Lauren Hagan won the 100 breaststroke.
Also an 8th grader.
8th grader. Her sister Kate Hagan, who's a senior, she did quite well, scored some points for us. Kate Guile, who wasn't feeling well, she stepped it up. That's awesome what she did. She was able to swim, and she swam through it and did well. And then I think that Kate Hagan, and then Kate Guile, and then also Connor LaFawn. Connor LaFawn is a 8th grader and swam so fast in prelims, finished tied for 16th place in the preliminaries in the 200 free, and he had to do a swim off. And we got all the guys together and got him motivated to do the swim off only a half hour later. It was unbelievable. And then he qualified for the finals.
I was screaming for him a lot. I lost my voice.
It was super exciting. Laura Simmons did great. So Zoe Pinson did great. I mean, just across the board, everybody was awesome. So total team effort.
Yeah.
And my assistant coach, Alicia, she's phenomenal too. So we work really well together, and we're a good team.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm amazed at the youth of this team. I mean, they only have 4 seniors. Really 2 on the boys' side, 2 on the girls' side, and so I mean, like I said. Lauren Hagan's an 8th grader. Emma McDowell won a region title. She's a 10th grader. So you had 3 girls.
I didn't mention Emma. Emma's phenomenal too.
Yeah.
And then Kirsten Eads.
Mm-hmm. So most of these kids you're going to have for a while.
Yeah. So we'll just keep going. 2 weeks, and then we'll see how we do. We had several that had not tapered yet, so that means resting right before the state meet, the big meet. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how these kids do at the state. Hopefully we'll qualify well and make finals and go from there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what's the next 2 weeks like, just preparing for state?
Eating less, trying to slim down some more, and work on form and taper down, and then shave the night before and go real fast.
Were you disappointed he didn't jump in the pool yesterday? He'd been doing that the last couple of years.
He
didn't do it this year.
I tried to take his phone out of his pocket, and he just caught me and was like, I'm not doing it. And then I just gave up. So.
Why didn't you do it, man? Is it just too cold? Just too cold, or it's kind of got old after all these years?
No, I mean, it's always special.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
But it's okay. The kids did great, and I said, you all can jump in if you want.
But we've already been in there. We don't need to go back in.
I already changed. I was like, no, can't do it.
Yeah. What sticks out from you yesterday? Anything particular? This moment there is at the end there. We got the trophy, or?
Yeah. That picture. I posted on Instagram. I just pictured me and John, just all the medals and trophies I got with me and him and the team. I'm always going to remember that moment. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. And you mentioned it, and I mean, I think everybody kind of felt it yesterday when that thing was over. And of course, you went to model, you swam in that pool. Your name's still up on the wall with some records. You've swam there for a long time. I've covered a lot of events there for a long time, and kind of I don't know, melancholy there at the end because I don't know if we'll be back in that gym ever, in that pool ever again.
Yeah, it's I don't know how to put it in words. I think I've talked to Coach Knezovich quite often, and we really appreciate all that he's done, and he's a great competitor, and it's just he has some records up on the board as well, and it's always such a special place to get together and have a swim meet and a championship, and I hope that EKU doesn't. Hope they keep it going and that we can bring the regions back there at some point.
Yeah, they've told Kevin and Kyle 18 months. I'm not holding my breath on that, but like I said, you swam in that place a lot too. You kind of get any kind of feels yesterday.
8+ years. I love that pool. That pool's very fast. But Kevin, he's a father figure to me. I love him to death. Going into college, I'll come down a lot since I'm going to Transy. It's just hometown, just Lexington up there. Come down, visit Kevin and John, ask for tips, watch them both. I'll be doing that a lot, so I'll still be able to see all of them. So I'm glad about that.
That official, Transy? You know, swim with Transy?
Yeah, I got a wristband about it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing your signing day. It's going to be a lot of fun. So appreciate y'all coming in. It was a great performance. Like I said, 18 top 5 finishes, 13 region titles, all 6 relays. It was a pretty impressive performance for you guys.
Thank you very much.
So congratulations and good luck a couple weeks in state.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
You too.
All right, we'll be right back with Allen Feldhaus.
Stack of the Week.
Stephanie Miserandino here with IHOP and partner Destination Athlete presenting Logan Cantrell with his IHOP Stack of the Week. Get your t-shirt, 52 weeks of free pancakes, and your IHOP gift card.
Thank you.
Yes, and I'm Coach Kinley. Logan is our 126-pounder. He's 26-5 on the state, ranked 13th in the state. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Stack of the Week. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. Wynn's Auto Detailing Service. Platinum Roofing, solar and green solutions. Voted Richmond's best roofer 7 years in a row. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Stack of the Week.
Welcome back. We are joined by our old friend, Coach Allen Feldhaus Jr.
Oh, you got that part.
Yeah. You're worn out, aren't you?
I am. I'm tired. I'm tired after this weekend. I am.
Great event though yesterday. Lots of people in there. What the attendance numbers? Yeah, I mean, did you add it up or anything?
Yeah. I mean, we sold over 1,100 tickets.
Wow.
And,
awesome. And it was right.
That's how many we sold now. I don't know how many people got in free and all that. I mean, that's one of the biggest crowds I've seen in that gym in a long time, and it was perfect. The first game, of course, double overtime, 2 really good teams, and we had a good effort against North Laurel and Reed Shepherd. So yeah, I don't think you could ask for any better.
Yeah. All right. Before we get into some of I wanted to recap this week for you guys, but before we do that, me and Randy, we don't know if did you see our show last week when Trent Milby was on?
Mm-mm.
Well, Trent Milby played for you at Greene County.
Sure did.
And he said you used to be a lot meaner than you are now.
I'm sure I probably was. I'm sure. Yeah, I've kind of mellowed out a little bit the older I've got. Yeah, I was at Clinton County my first 2 years, right out of college. I mean, I was the head coach at 22. So I guess I was only like 24 when I went there. So yeah, I was probably yeah. He's not lying to you there.
Now he said you used to be able to get 3 technicals. And you actually got 3 technicals in a game?
I don't ever remember getting 3. I've never been thrown out of a game until I got here. Yeah. In Madison Central.
Well, you said you could get 3, but you still weren't ejected.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd never been thrown out of a game there. But he was in a good class. We had a good team. His senior year, this is Greene County. We were top 10 in the state, but it was the same year that Marion County, who was in the 5th region with us, won the state tournament with Anthony Epps and that crew. But he had a really good group of seniors, and Trent was really good. Trent wasn't much on the defensive end, but he could shoot, he could score.
Now I didn't know this until last week after we had him on the show. and we started seeing some stuff on social media. His first name is actually Trentwood?
Trentwood.
Trentwood. I did not know that.
Yep, that's what I always call him, Trentwood.
Yeah, Trentwood.
Yep,
So,
sure is. Sure is.
The things you learn. I just thought we'd bring that up right off the bat before I forgot about it. So.
He's telling you the truth. Unfortunately, he's telling you the truth.
The officials in the 11th region are going, he was meaner than he was than he is now.
Oh, shoot.
I tell you what, though, there's an art to working officials, and nobody does it better than this man right here.
Yeah,
you have to know how to deal with them.
I just try to fight for my kids. That's all. And there's nothing. That's what I tell them after. It's nothing personal. I promise you, it's nothing personal. We just want to try to win this basketball game.
Well, 3 games this week against three tough opponents. Obviously, you lose the game on Wednesday to LCA. You come back Friday, you beat Evangel Christian, and then Saturday, obviously, the huge win over North Laurel. But the 2 wins, we kind of talked about it a little bit last night. So strikingly different. Evangel Christian, a big team. You guys played zone, and then Saturday, you kind of went back to your normal stuff. And of course, Jalen Davis was crazy. So two very different games.
Yeah, it was. And Wednesday, we haven't laid too many eggs through the year. I mean, we've lost a lot of games, but we've played a lot of good people, and we've been in all of those games. I think our Ashland game up there, we kind of laid an egg there. We didn't have much effort in that game. I thought Wednesday against LCA for a home game, we were kind of going through the motions after showing them the clips. Defensively, I never seen somebody standing up and not down in a good defensive stance. So that was definitely a learning day when we had to suffer through those clips of that game. But they seem to have kind of balled in because the last 2 games have been probably 2 of our best. And we had to attack those games a little bit differently, different game plan, both games. And it's good this far along that the guys are able to adapt and make some changes. We're not used to playing a soft, sagging 2-3 zone, which we had to do because of so much size that they had with Evangel Christian, and then turn around the next night and go back putting the heat on defensively, which we did against North Laurel. And Jalen did an unbelievable job on Reed. His length, I think, kind of bothered him a little bit, but it was just effort. It was with Jalen, he had good leadership, and it helps when you hit those. When you start hitting those threes too. And I don't know why he just really hadn't shot. I mean, he was averaging 21 points a game going into this week, but he hadn't really shot the 3 the way he's capable of shooting.
You talked afterwards about bending his knees.
Yeah. We looked and we just think he wasn't getting his legs into it because every one of his misses were short. So we showed that to him on film, and that next day we really worked in practice as far as getting a little bit deeper knee bend. And he said the next day he was sore because I said, because you haven't been using those days. And evidently it worked a little bit because the last 2 games he's really shot it well. The way we know he's capable of shooting.
Yeah, I mean, and defensively, like we played the little clip earlier, but I mean, you guys put him on the best defender every night. He thrives off that. He wants that. He's just he doesn't talk a lot of crap. He's quiet, confident. He just gets it job done on both sides of the court, and we talk over and over again about that sweet jump shot of his, but I mean defensively too, man. He'll get in your shorts.
His length. Reed's such a good passer. I mean, he makes everybody on his team much better. But Jalen's length really bothered him on his passes, probably more so than his shot. I think it bothered him on his passes, and it got to the point where Reed was kind of leaving his feet once he got in the paint, trying to make passes over top of Jalen, and I think that's why he ended up with 6 or 7 turnovers, and it was all Jalen's length.
Yeah, and the past couple of games, I know you've been trying to get other people involved, but the win over Evangel Christian, the win over North Laurel, you basically stuck with the 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we really with Eli and Parker they've got to hit some shots for us and not be afraid to shoot it. And it was a good start. Eli, I think he hit his first shot that Evangel Christian game. Hit his first shot in the corner last night. So. Just seems like every game we've had one of them step up and hit a shot early, things kind of snowball after that. But no, we're not afraid to. We've got 3 or 4 other guys we can put in there, but if we don't have to, I mean, I trust these 5 that I have, and they've played a lot of games together. I was really glad to see Parker step because there at one time towards the end of the first half yesterday, they really weren't even guarding him. They were letting him shoot, and he got a good wing 3, and it looked good. It went in and out, and I told him, I said, if they're not going to guard you, you're going to knock that first one down. And he did right there in front of our bench. And in practice, I mean, he's been shooting the lights out in practice. It's just a matter of just carrying over in the games. And those 2 guys got 10 points, I think, between them last night. if they can give between 10 and 15, and the other 3 do what they normally do, then and if our defense is solid, we'll have a pretty good chance, I think, against. I'll take my chances against anybody.
Yeah, and I mean, even playing those 5, you guys really have avoided foul trouble. Those kids can pretty much play
that's
all
what
32
I
minutes.
tell them. I've got to be able to trust some of you if you pick up 2 in the first half. And with Robbie, I can pretty much. Jaden's the one we've been working with, and he's done much better the last 2 or 3 games. He had one stretch of games where he was in constant foul trouble, and I tell you, if you pick up 2 in the first, you cannot foul again. You just cannot. If you've got 3 in that third quarter, you cannot pick up your 4th. I said, if I can trust you, I mean, I'm going to leave you in there. If I can, I'm going to have to get somebody else in. So it's kind of that part with Jaden might still be a work in progress, but the rest of his game, he's really played well.
The human highlight reel out there.
Yeah, he has.
Gosh.
Well, the blocks coming off his man and make some of the blocks on Robbie's man or Jalen's man. That's. Yeah, pretty, and the deflections. That one dunk he had, I guess, was the Evangel Christian game where he made the deflection and the steal on the wing, and ends up with dunking over 2 people on the other end. He's just so gifted in this natural talent that his reaction time, as far as moving laterally, is he can reach a lot of passes that other people can't. Yeah.
You just got the feeling last night, though. I mean, your kids. I don't want to say make a statement because that's kind of cliche or whatever, but the circle, the traveling sideshow that follows Reed Shepherd around, and he deserves it.
He does.
We're not going to say anything negative about it. He's a great player. He's going to go to UK and do great things, and but there's that circus that follows him around with media and UK people, and just kind of got the feeling your kids were kind of there to say, hey, we're pretty good too.
Well, I mean, it's one of those games. You look at our schedule, that I'm sure they look forward to, and that's one of those games. Well, this year we got a bunch of them. They probably look forward to, but just knowing we had the Covcath male game before ours, and White Greer and Maggard, of course, hosting it, and they did a wonderful job. And I think the kids knew there was going to be a good crowd. They knew there was going to be a good student section. So we, as coaches, we don't have to do much to pump them up on games like that. But I mean, really, with us, our defense is usually solid enough to keep us in games against good teams, but when we hit shots, when we hit perimeter shots, when we hit 13 threes, and it's not just, I mean, Jalen had 7. We had some other people to hit them too. Robbie really shot the ball well. Jaden hit a deep 3. Parker and Eli both hit 1. That makes us a little bit more dangerous.
13 of 27.
Yeah,
like you said last night, you hit 13 threes. You're going to beat a lot of people.
I take that every game. Yes, definitely.
Well, the beat goes on. Your just gauntlet of a schedule continues Tuesday night. You got Lexington Catholic here.
Yeah, number 2 team in the state. So that's what I told them last night. I said, this was fun and good atmosphere and great win, but that wasn't a region team. I mean, we got the favorites, I assume, right now in the 11th region coming to our place on Tuesday. Of course, we've had a lot of good battles with Lexington Catholic over the years, and we played them a couple times over the summer. So our guys, I mean, they know Lexington Catholic. We feel like we know their system inside out. I'm sure they know ours inside out. So I think we're getting them hopefully at the right time. I mean, coming off of 2 good wins. That's why I gave those 5. My JV and freshmen in there practicing right now, but I gave those for y'all. Go home. Y'all don't need to touch the basketball today. You need to rest.
The best reward of all.
Yeah, you need to rest. And I need a little rest. I need a little rest too. So we'll get back in there tomorrow and work a little bit and see what happens on Tuesday. But that game, I'll tell them the same thing. That's not the important one. It's if we get to play them again. That's the important one. But it's a home game, and I know they'll be excited about it.
Yeah, probably another big crowd over at the house.
I would think so.
And
I would think so.
It'd be a lot of fun. So we look forward to it. And congratulations, man. It was an exciting weekend of basketball, and me and Randy say this all the time. You never count the Indians out. You never count out an Allen Feldhaus coach team.
Yeah, we're not going to quit. I mean, I don't care what our record is. It's when you start that tournament time, you're 0-0, and I think our guys will be prepared and hopefully be ready to go.
Yeah, 13-12, but that don't really matter much at all.
No, doesn't bother me any. I know we're going to be ready.
You're not worried about you've already got a ton of wins. You don't care what your record is.
No, that's what I want us to be. Come end of February when that district region tournament rolls around, I want us to be playing our best. That's the main thing.
All right. Well, I know you had a busy couple of days, so appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to us, and we'll let you get out of here. But that'll wrap up this week's show. We'll be back next Sunday with another brand new show at 9 o'clock. And as always, Richmond R Sports on Twitter is a place to be to keep up with Madison County sports. And Register Sports on Facebook and richmondregister.com. So see you guys next time.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by MetroNet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote.
Wynn's Auto Detailing Service.
Platinum Roofing, Solar and Green Solutions. Voted Richmond's best roofer 7 years in a row. And by kymedia.net. Digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.